Sarah Finger, who's my yoga teacher, and we're here at her studio, Ishta Yoga, in New York, and both of us are very excited to tell you about the event that's being hosted by Yoga Journal on May 19th, April 21st, this coming Friday, April 21st, 7:30 I believe, and it's an event on yoga, enlightenment, you are the universe, yoga for connection, and then we're also announcing an online course through Yoga Journal. You can find the connection here, the link here, and that will start on May 8th. It's called Yoga for Connection. So today I wanted to say a few words about both yoga and enlightenment, and then ask Sarah some questions. Oh, by the way, we are on the cover, right? I'm on
You're on the cover.
But then there's lots of coverage about Sarah teaching yogasanas and all kinds of very interesting asanas.
About how to connect to the universe.
Yeah, and they incorporate the 7 spiritual laws of yoga as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I'm going to be speaking about You Are the Universe also on Friday. So let's take those two words, enlightenment and then yoga, in turn. Enlightenment as the word, if you break down the word, it means on, one, with the light, on enlightenment, one with the light. So what is the light? The light is awareness, the light is consciousness. So enlightenment means living in a way when you're always connected with your source, which is consciousness, awareness, being. Some people might even use the word soul. That's what the word enlightenment means. And the word yoga comes from the Sanskrit word yuj. Yuj means union. So union again with what? Source. In fact, if you read the first sutra in Patanjali, it says Yog Chit Vritti Nirodh, which means yoga is the settling down of the excitations of consciousness till you reach pure consciousness. So pure consciousness is the source of thought, is the source of perception, and as a result, it's the source of all the experience that we call the universe, including our own body and mind. Because our body-mind is in the universe, it's part of the universe. But the real you, the real me, the real Sarah is not this form, which is a phenomenon, but is the awareness in which this phenomenon, and the rest of the universe are all arising and subsiding in every moment that we call now, the eternal now. So yoga is going back to the source, enlightenment is living in the source. They're the same thing. Yoga and enlightenment, the same thing, getting in touch with the source of all experience. And in that experience is included mind, body, universe as a single activity. That's why the book is called You Are the Universe. You modulate yourself, modify yourself as mind, body, universe as a single activity. That's what we're going to talk about. But in this Yoga Journal, this special issue, the May issue, Sarah is doing asanas. And remember, the word asana also means seat of awareness. So she's doing different asanas that actually incorporate the 7 spiritual laws of success. I have a book called The 7 Spiritual Laws of Yoga, but before that there was the book 7 Spiritual Laws, and these are in turn law of pure potentiality, giving and receiving, karma, least effort, intention and desire, detachment and dharma. So can you say a little bit how these yoga asanas in fact anchor you to the 7 spiritual laws? And you can show some of the asanas as well.
Sure. Well, they work so seamlessly, actually. It was really cool putting these sequences together because they just flowed into the 7 laws, and it felt like it was a natural thing. It just gives a testament to these laws. And the first one I did was the seated breath called Soham. It's in a seated position, which we call easy seat of ease. And this is a seat that can enable us to connect to pure potential when we sit and quiet and still our minds, or in that kind of no-thing state where there isn't the vritti, the rising and falling of thought and sensation. We're able to be in this mode of pure potentiality where anything is possible. Sometimes our thoughts limit us from accessing that potential. So I gave a technique that helps us to still and quiet the mind and help to access that field of
so we always live in possibility. Always. Possibilities, also creativity.
And this one is low lunge, Anjaneyasana. And this one I did about just connecting to the universe, but you can bring in the law of giving and receiving into any one of these postures, because for me that's a lot about the breath, and we bring the breath into the asana. Asana without the breath is not able to flow, not able to take in the prana, the life force energy.
The in-breath is the biosphere breathing you, and the out-breath is you breathing back into the biosphere. So it's, yes,
yeah,
receiving.
Yeah. And then the third one, the law of karma, is think of Tadasana. This is kind of blown palm, but if you think about standing mountain pose and how you choose to hold your body up in mountain pose, how you consciously stand and how you arrange your body can have an effect on every other part of your body. So it's really applying the law of karma, the law of cause and effect. How you position your body in an asana, your feet, your legs will affect the whole rest of your body and your experience in general. So just being conscious about that. The law of least effort, we can apply that into, again, any one of the poses, but let's look at triangle pose, Trikonasana. Are you forcing in it? Are you hardening where you don't need to? Marrying these balances of effort and ease is one of the sutras as well. Stiram Sukham. And then after that we have the law of intention and desire. Is that right?
Yes.
Am I skipping one?
No.
Law of
least effort.
Yeah, law of least effort.
Right now. You did mention the law of least effort.
Oh, okay. Yes, so so law of intention and desire then is about creating your intentions and tapping into your deepest desires and thinking about that in your yoga practice. So what is the way that you want to experience the pose, and are you keeping your intention? We always set an intention in the beginning of practice, right? So are you keeping that throughout the practice and allowing that to infuse into every pose that you're doing, or do you get sidetracked by something else? Law of detachment, just letting go of the results, knowing that you can do your best and let go of the results, and that creates the connection to spirit in the posture. And then the law of Dharma is really about connecting to your gifts, your unique gifts, and everybody has that in yoga. If we're just busy comparing ourselves and thinking how Deepak does it, how I do it, how somebody else does it next to us, and we're busy looking outside, we're not connecting to source, right? Like he spoke about in the beginning. So asana is really about connecting back to source. And if we're busy looking at other people and getting competitive in our practice, we're kind of bypassing the whole purpose. So that's it in a nutshell.
The law of Dharma.
Ah, the law of Dharma. Right. That's the law of your unique gifts, right?
Unified purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you align yourself with the elements and forces of the universe. So anyway, this is the special issue. You might want to pick it up. It's the May issue, right?
Yeah.
And that's the book, You Are the Universe. The event is on the 21st, this coming Friday, 21st of April. And then the online course based on both the book and the 7 Spiritual Laws of Yoga, which is offered through Yoga Journal, starts on May 8th. May 8th, that's the correct date. I had posted the wrong date in the past, so May 8th is the correct date. We have a little time and some questions have come in, so...
If anybody has questions out in the Facebook universe, feel free to post them now, and you have 2 amazing people here to offer some wisdom. First question is are the spiritual laws a progression? Do you need to start and somewhat really get a handle on one before you go to two, or do you kind of pick and choose what's
In a sense, they are a progression because you start with pure potentiality, which is ground state. And as ground state starts to move within itself, it moves as giving and receiving. So what we call the relative world is the self-sacrifice of the absolute as knower, knowing and known, seer, scenery and seeing, observer, observing and observed. It's the absolute that differentiates itself into everything else. So then following that is karma, because every choice echoes back. Karma is nothing other than an echo from the past. And least effort is the blossoming of the seed into a plant, into a fruit, into a tree, and ultimately into thousands of forests, all by itself. Okay? The universe is not exerting any effort. So there's a sequence, yes.
And once you sort of practice these principles on the mat, is it difficult, or do you recommend you have to be so consciously aware of them in your everyday life, or do they kind of flow into your day-to-day?
The laws are meant to flow into your life very spontaneously and effortlessly, but the practice of yoga anchors them, because that's how this course is structured. The course is structured so that you have the law in mind before you start the posture, then the posture anchors into that particular frequency domain of consciousness.
And I think it's also important to remember that what we do on the mat is really what we're doing in everyday life. So whatever patterns we're taking on the mat, we're taking into every aspect.
Including the way we sit.
Our spines all got longer.
Sue Gaskell asks, do you ever get distracted by the ego, Deepak? You are an inspiration to many, thank you.
I do get distracted by the ego once in a while, especially when people are extremely vicious in their attack. But over the years, less and less and less, and hopefully soon not at all.
Gregory asks, he experiences many echoes from the past. How do you deal?
Okay, so Gregory, karma is an echo from the past. It creates the situations and circumstances and relationships of the present. But what you do with the present is your choice. So the more aware you are, then you use karma as an opportunity for success, and also as an opportunity to move into a higher state of consciousness.
Maria asks if you have any recommendations for children on how to be happy.
For children, Maria, the best thing is play with them when they're less than 5, and then start with stories and songs and lessons. But the most important thing is be a good example. Now you have a child.
Yeah.
How old is she, Satya?
5.5.
And so does yoga already?
She does.
I
does.
see her on Instagram.
Yeah.
So
a little bit. She's interested in it, but we try not to force it on her.
yeah, it should never be forced.
Yeah.
Be an example.
Yeah, I think that's the best advice.
We have time for a few more questions.
We have 2 questions about yoga and medicine. One, do you feel yoga is medicine? Secondly, how do you bring yoga into a medical practice?
I can answer that. So yoga is medicine in the way that, in the sense that it both prevents and sometimes even reverses illness. So the breathing techniques, pranayama, are very good for preventing things like bronchial asthma, but they can also reverse the illness if you do them properly. If you stimulate the vagus nerve, which is many asanas like cat-cow, even sun salutation, the vagus nerve goes from your midbrain, influences your facial expressions, your eye movements, the tone of your voice, heart rate variability, and ultimately goes into the abdomen, where it innervates all the abdominal organs and brings about self-regulation. The short answer to your question is yoga reverses inflammation, can prevent many illnesses, and now we are learning that it can actually reverse many illnesses by reversing inflammation and bringing about self-regulation and homeostasis, which is another word for healing. So yes, the answer is yes.
Jenna asks you to talk about the importance of pranayama.
Jenna asked about pranayama. Why didn't you say a few words?
Yeah, pranayama is actually it's prana, which is the life force energy. Yama means to direct, and ayama is to extend. So it's the extension and direction of the life force energy within us. And when the yogis don't measure their life by the amount of years they live, but the amount of breaths they breathe. So when you're able to lengthen and extend your breath, you extend that life force energy and live longer.
And
live
there
better.
are several techniques, the
Yep.
pranayama for increasing energy, pranayama for calming the mind, pranayama for cooling the body, pranayama for heating up the body. So ultimately the yogi is independent of the weather and of circumstances. That's what it means. Yoga's Kuru Karmani. Established in yoga, perform action and live in the world. Any other questions?
Donna Joy is an empath. She asks how she can ground herself from anxiety.
Okay, so Donna is an empath and she wants to know how she grounds herself. Many things. One is keep your awareness in the body, and the second is walk on the ground barefoot, the earth, not concrete, or on a beach. And these days you can go on the internet and you can get what are called grounding devices. Actually, if you go to jayo.com, which is our website, you can find out about grounding devices. And what they do is they take a little wire and you can sit on a mat that's connected to the grounding outlet of the room, so it doesn't matter where you are, even on the 20th floor in a city in New York, you can still be connected to the ground. The ground, the earth, is our body recycling, and more people are now doing research on the fact that when you ground yourself, your body begins to self-regulate, but also your circadian rhythms get balanced, so it's very good for jet lag, and it's also very good for decreasing inflammation. Check out jayo.com, Jiyo.com, and you'll find information on grounding in the marketplace over there. But you can also go on the internet and find out all you need to know about grounding. Lots of research. I'm talking a lot about it these days.
Charlie asks what your favorite book is.
I have many favorite books, but ones that I read on an ongoing basis are the Bhagavad Gita, a book by Nisargadatta Maharaj called I Am That, Freedom from the Known, Krishnamurti, and then of course, being an author, my favorite book also is the one that I just wrote, but that's besides the point. Anything else? Okay, so join us April 21st in the Hilton Hotel, Midtown Manhattan, for a wonderful evening on You Are the Universe, Yoga for Connection, Enlightenment, and basically it'll be an amazing evening, I promise you. Sarah will be there. And then the online course, which starts on May 8th, and you can find out all about it in Yoga Journal. And if you feel like reading, here's the book. Okay, thanks, Sarah. Say bye.
Thanks, guys.